Not every thought in your head is true. Don't believe everything you think. We'll show you how to break free from doubt, silence fear, and ignite unstoppable passion in your life. Brought to you by Beyond the Cover. Most of the battles you fight in your life are not fought in the outer world. They are fought in your mind. And the truth is, your mind is not always your friend. Your mind is a storyteller, and sometimes it tells stories that are not true. Sometimes it tells you that you are not good enough, that you will fail, that no one will believe in you, that the worst will happen, and that you should give up before you even start. These are not truths, they are thoughts. And you must understand something vital. You are not your thoughts. Thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky, but you are the sky itself. You are the space that holds them, not the passing shapes. The statement, "Don't believe everything you think," is not just clever advice. It is a doorway to freedom. Imagine for a moment that every thought you ever had was taken as absolute truth. You would be trapped in endless cycles of fear, doubt, anger, regret, and pain. But once you realize that thoughts are not facts, you take back your power. You start questioning the voice that says you are not worthy. You start recognizing that the negative loop playing in your head is not reality. It is only noise. And when you stop identifying with that noise, you find clarity, strength, and freedom. Think of how many times in your life you have believed something in your mind only to later discover it wasn't true. You thought you couldn't handle a situation, but you did. You thought people would judge you harshly, but they didn't care. You thought the world was ending after a heartbreak. But life went on, and you grew stronger. These are reminders that your thoughts are not always accurate. They exaggerate, they distort, they replay the past, they project the future, but they rarely reflect the truth of this moment. The present moment is always simpler, calmer, and more manageable than the storm your mind creates around it. If you want to create passion, energy, and purpose in your life, you must learn to separate yourself from the endless chatter of your mind. Because your mind will try to convince you to settle for less, to stay safe, to avoid risks, to remain in comfort zones. But passion is not born in comfort. Passion is born in courage. And courage comes when you can look at your fearful thoughts and say, "I see you, but I will not believe you. You are only a thought, not the truth of who I am." You must train yourself to watch your thoughts the way you watch traffic passing by on a busy road. Cars move in all directions, but you don't chase after them. You don't stop them. You simply let them pass. The same way, thoughts will appear in your mind. Some will be positive, some negative, some inspiring, some discouraging. But none of them define you. What defines you is a choice you make in the space between the thought and your response. That space is your freedom. That space is your power. Many people spend their lives imprisoned by their thoughts. They believe the inner critic that says you're not talented enough, or you're too late, or you'll never make it. They accept these lies as destiny. But the truth is, you are capable of far more than your thoughts tell you. You are not limited by the small voice of doubt. You are vast, limitless, and full of potential. And when you stop blindly believing every thought, you open yourself to possibility. Passion is nothing more than energy freed from the prison of overthinking. When you stop clinging to every fearful thought, your energy flows. You begin to create, to move, to act, to dream again. Passion is not something you wait to feel. It is something you generate by breaking free from mental chains. Every time you say, "This thought does not control me," you strengthen your inner fire. Every time you choose action over hesitation, you fuel your passion. Every time you remind yourself that you are not your thoughts, you step into your true power. So the next time your mind whispers you can't, smile and remind yourself that's just a thought. The next time your mind says you'll fail, reply with "maybe, but I will try anyway." The next time your mind paints a picture of fear, choose to see beyond it. Life is too short to live as a prisoner of your own mind. Passion, courage, and greatness belong to those who rise above the noise and listen to the deeper truth within. And that truth always says, you are stronger than you think, braver than you know, and more capable than you can imagine. When you begin to notice that not every thought is a truth, you step into a new dimension of freedom. You start seeing how much of your suffering was never created by the world, but by your interpretation of it. Life doesn't hurt you nearly as much as your thoughts about life do. The world itself is neutral, but the mind attaches meanings, judgments, and fears. You can choose to detach from them. This choice is what makes you powerful. You see, your mind will tell you stories from the past and project fears into the future. But the present moment is rarely as heavy as your thoughts make it seem. Think of a time when you dreaded doing something, maybe speaking in public, having a difficult conversation, or facing a challenge. Your mind probably spun 100 scenarios of disaster. Yet, when you actually stepped into that moment, it was never as bad as you imagined. In fact, sometimes it was far easier and even empowering. That's because your thoughts exaggerated the danger. They magnified the fear. And once reality arrived, you realized you had the strength to face it. This is why believing every thought is dangerous. It makes small challenges appear like mountains, when in reality they are only hills you are capable of climbing. There is a great strength in learning to question your thoughts. It tells you, I am not capable. Instead of accepting it, you pause and ask, is this really true? Can I know for certain that I am not capable? The moment you ask, you begin to break the illusion, because the truth is, you have proven your capability many times before. You have faced hardships, you have endured pain, you have overcome difficulties, and you are still here, stronger than before. So how can a passing thought suddenly erase all of your strength? It cannot, unless you choose to believe it. Believing every thought is like giving the keys of your life to a random voice inside your head. Would you give control of your life to a stranger who doesn't know you? No. Then why give control to thoughts that arise automatically, without your permission, often influenced by fear, insecurity, or old conditioning? You don't have to believe them. You can acknowledge them without obeying them. That is true self-mastery. And when you master this, passion begins to ignite. Because passion is suffocated by doubt, by overthinking, by hesitation. When the mind says, what if you fail? And you choose not to believe it, you open the door to courage. And passion feeds on courage. When the mind says others are better than you, and you refuse to accept it, you create space for your unique brilliance to shine. Passion grows when you stop comparing, stop doubting, and stop listening to the inner critic. Think of the dreams you once had, the goals you once imagined. Why did you stop chasing them? Was it because they were impossible, or was it because your thoughts convinced you they were? For most people, the dream dies not because it cannot be reached, but because the mind whispers you're not good enough and they believe it. But the truth is, if you take even one step toward that dream, you're already proving the thought wrong. Every action you take in defiance of a limiting thought weakens its power. Every time you move forward despite the fear, you break the chains that have held you back. So, don't let your thoughts decide your future. Let your courage decide. Let your actions decide. Let your passion decide. Thoughts are fleeting, but the results of your choices are lasting. Passion belongs to those who act, not those who endlessly think. Do not wait for your thoughts to become positive before you live fully. Live fully, and the thoughts will follow. Even the most successful, the most confident, the most powerful people you admire are not free from negative thoughts. The difference is they do not bow to them. They have learned that thoughts are suggestions, not commands. They have trained themselves to act in alignment with vision, not fear, and you can do the same. The key is awareness. The moment you notice a thought, you have already separated yourself from it. The fact that you can observe it means you are not it. This is your strength. The thought may say you will fail, but you, the observer, can smile and reply, maybe, but I will try anyway. The thought may say people will judge you, but you can answer, perhaps, but I refuse to let that stop me. This attitude turns fear into fuel. This attitude transforms hesitation into movement. This attitude is how passion is born and sustained. The moment you stop believing every thought is the moment you reclaim your power. Power over fear, power over doubt, power over hesitation. Because thoughts on their own have no strength. They're like clouds drifting through the sky. They only gain weight when you hold on to them, when you repeat them, when you allow them to define you. But when you let them pass, they vanish, and you remain untouched. And in that untouched space, passion and strength rise naturally. You must learn to challenge your thoughts, especially the ones that shrink you. When your mind tells you, I can't, replace it with "I can try." When your mind whispers, "I'm not ready," respond with, "No one is ever fully ready, but I will begin." When your thoughts scream, "What if I fail?" answer with, "What if I succeed?" This is how you rewrite the script that plays inside your head. You don't need to silence every negative thought. You just need to stop giving them authority. They can speak, but you decide whether to listen. Remember, passion is not found in silence of the mind. It is found in the fire of action. The people who change their lives, who build dreams, who rise from nothing to greatness, they are not the ones who never had doubts. They are the ones who acted despite the doubts. They refused to let the whispers of fear dictate their destiny. They heard the thoughts, but they chose the vision. And so can you. Your thoughts may say, "You are ordinary." But the truth is, there is nothing ordinary about you. You carry a unique combination of strengths, gifts, experiences, and perspectives that no one else on this planet has. And when you stop believing the thoughts that belittle you, you begin to express that uniqueness. Passion flows when you stop hiding and start living from your truth. The world doesn't need another copy. It needs your original fire. Think about the prison that overthinking creates. It paralyzes you. You think and think and think until the moment to act is already past. And then you regret, and the cycle continues. But when you step back and see that these thoughts are not absolute, you break that prison. You stop asking, "What if I'm not good enough?" And you start declaring, "I am willing to learn. I am willing to grow. I am willing to try." That shift alone ignites energy. It creates movement. And movement is the soil where passion grows. Passion is not an endless high. It is a deep commitment to live beyond the limits of your mind. It is a choice to pursue what matters, regardless of the doubts that try to block your way. And the more you act, the weaker the grip of those thoughts becomes. Action is the medicine. Every step you take against fear is a victory. Every time you refuse to obey the voice of limitation, you expand. You become bolder, more alive, more unstoppable. Do not wait for your thoughts to give you permission to live. They never will. If you wait for silence, you will wait forever. But if you act while the noise is still there, you will discover something extraordinary. The noise begins to fade, because the mind cannot argue with action. Once you prove a thought wrong through your deeds, it loses its hold. You thought you couldn't, but you did. You thought you were weak, but you endured. You thought it was impossible, but you made it possible. This is the cycle of growth. This is the path to passion. So whenever your thoughts arise, see them for what they are, passing clouds, not eternal truths. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the force that chooses which thoughts to feed and which to release. Feed the thoughts of courage. Feed the thoughts of vision. Feed the thoughts of possibility. Let go of the ones that shrink you, for they were never yours to begin with. And in doing so, you will notice something remarkable. Your energy will rise. Your focus will sharpen. Your passion will ignite, because you have stopped fighting yourself as a prisoner of your mind and started living as a creator of your destiny. And that is the most powerful shift a human being can make. Now, imagine living each day fully aware that your thoughts are not your master. Imagine facing challenges, doubts, fears, and uncertainties with the calm knowledge that you are bigger than any idea your mind throws at you. Life stops feeling heavy. You stop overthinking. You stop giving your energy away to imagine problems. And suddenly, you are free to pursue what truly matters. This freedom is not a luxury. It is a foundation of a passionate, meaningful life. The thoughts that once terrified you, that once held you back, begin to lose their power. They may appear, but they do not control you anymore. You are the observer. You are the creator. You are the one who chooses your response. And with that choice comes power, purpose, and drive. The fire of passion is born in that space between thought and action, that tiny space where you realize, I am not my thoughts, I am greater than them. Every time you take action despite fear, you train your mind to serve you rather than control you. Every time you push forward while doubts arise, you prove to yourself that courage is stronger than hesitation. Every time you choose vision over fear, passion grows. And over time, this becomes a habit. This becomes your way of being. You stop waiting for permission from your thoughts or from the world. You simply act. You simply create. You simply live. Do not underestimate the small victories. Each step you take in defiance of a limiting thought is a triumph. Each moment you refuse to obey fear is a declaration of your power. Each time you remind yourself, this thought does not define me, you become stronger, clearer, and more unstoppable. Life is no longer a series of obstacles. It becomes a series of opportunities. Every challenge is a chance to rise. Every fear is a signal that you are growing. Every negative thought is a reminder that you are moving beyond old limitations. And here's the ultimate truth. You were born to be more than the sum of your doubts. You were born to live with passion. You were born to create, to inspire, to grow, to shine. But that life will only unfold if you refuse to believe every thought that tells you otherwise. You must separate yourself from the noise, take control of your attention, and act with courage every single day. This is the path to greatness. This is the path to freedom. This is the path to a life lived fully and passionately. So today, start small. Notice your thoughts without judgment. Recognize when they are limiting you. Say to yourself, I see you, but you do not define me. Then act. Take one step, make one move, speak one word, create one thing. And as you do, feel the fire within you awaken. Feel the energy rise. Feel the passion ignite. Because passion does not come from the world. It comes from the courage to live beyond your thoughts. Do not believe everything you think. Question it, challenge it, rise above it, and in doing so, you'll discover the unstoppable power within you. You will realize that your life is not dictated by fear, by doubt, by old conditioning, or by limiting beliefs. Your life is dictated by you, by the choices you make, by the actions you take, by the courage you summon, and by the passion you allow to guide you. Live boldly, act courageously, dream unapologetically, and remember always, the most important thought you can hold is this: I am more than my thoughts, and my life belongs to me. Hold that truth. Live that truth. Let it ignite a fire in your soul that no doubt can ever extinguish. And with that fire, go forth and create a life that is extraordinary, a life that is full, a life that burns with passion, purpose, and unstoppable energy. Because the world does not need more people trapped in their thoughts. The world needs you, fully alive, fully awake, fully free. Thank you for listening. Remember, your thoughts do not define you. Take action, rise above doubt, and live a life full of passion. This has been Beyond the Cover. See you in the next journey.